Well, I call the meeting to order. The Drainage District might have a roll call, please.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Mr. Singh, would you please lead us in prayer?
Yes, sir. I certainly will, Judge. Thank you very much. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, again, we give you rain of praise and thanks, Lord, for an opportunity you provide us to come serve, Lord. We continue to pray for this leadership that you've appointed, Lord, the judge, 4 commissioners to lead our great county, Lord. Continue to provide them your wisdom, Lord. Continue to provide them your desire for service, Lord, and give them your peace, Lord, as they continue to make the decisions that affect us all, Lord. We continue to pray not only for them, for their families as well. Bless them, Lord. Continue to bless our great county, our great state, Lord, our great leadership that we have here in our county, our great state leadership as well, Lord. Continue to bless them with your knowledge and experience. I ask for your guidance as well for myself, Lord, for all the workers of our county, Lord. In this time of sorrow, Lord, we pray for Trooper Sanchez's family, Lord, and may you blanket them with your grace, your mercy, your love, Lord, and your comfort as they deal with the loss, Lord. We pray for all the mercy responders, all the officers, everyone that is in the line of duty that serves this great area of ours, Lord. We ask for your hedge of protection over them as they continue to serve dutifully, Lord. And just we again give you praise for the opportunity you allow us to serve, Lord, and we ask that our actions just mirror your love for everyone, Lord. I ask this in your Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Did we have anybody sign up for open forum?
No, sir. And Mr. Sassin, for the audience, reminder that we do have translation services available. And so if you do need translation services, the headsets are in the back. And I'm probably going to have to help me here, Mr. Singh, but tenemos servicios de
Traducción.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Podemos traducir en español lo
Thank
que se
you.
está presentando ahorita.
Okay.
Okay, there was nobody signed up for open forum, so we'll go into item number 4, approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. There only payment for 2 of our bond projects. Judge, everything's in order. Recommend approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. If I may, item 5A, discussion
5A, please.
and presentation, Texas Water Removal Board Public Workshop regarding implementation of flood legislation from 86th Texas legislative session. This past session, there was Senate Bill 7 and 8 that was voted and unanimously approved that will create a state flood plan. Let me make sure I get this information correct. We'll create a state flood planning that we have not had in the state before. So with that also, Senate Bill 7, Proposition 8, it's on the ballot, that will allow for the voters to vote on the use of the creation of the the use of funding for the Flood Infrastructure Fund that, in essence, will allow for funding for projects for flood mitigation, flood control, planning, and so forth. So the Water Development Board has done outreach, has been doing outreach all the month of August. We were present there, Commissioner Torres, Commissioner Fuentes, and myself, at the outreach that was done here in our area. Our comments are being developed through my office with input from currently Commissioner Fuentes, and we'll be getting that out to the rest of the board to provide any comments regarding, I guess, what we would like seen in the rules as they draft them. The comment deadline is August 30th, and we're working on that right now. We have some ideas what we believe would be beneficial to our area, especially being an economically distressed area and so forth. I'd like for Commissioner Fuentes to elaborate on that item, if he may.
First, we'd like to welcome Senator Hinojosa, who has been a big proponent for us at the state level. Obviously, you helped push this legislation through, so we greatly appreciate it. Like Mr. Sassin said, we had the Texas Water Development Board here last couple of weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And they took notes with respect to our needs locally with respect to how this $793 million for flood mitigation would be distributed and the rules written for the entire state. We did communicate to them our need with respect to hopefully that this would be in our area more grant-driven. We have a lot of small communities that don't have the ability to leverage bonds. When you talk about, some of my small communities, they don't have the economic base to go out there and pass bonds to have some sort of debt service on a matching program. So we asked more for a straight-up grant-type program down here. We also asked them to consider that the drainage district itself, in order to be able to leverage debt, has to go out to the public and get a vote done. We believe that the end users, the majority of end users for Proposition 8 would be the drainage districts because they'll be creating pathways for water to get out. But if you can only do that by passing bonds, and we can become more restricted. The other thing is working between local jurisdictions, Hidalgo County versus Willacy County versus Cameron County, and everybody being on the same sheet of music. It's a lot harder for us to come up with regional plans. So we asked them to consider all of those things as they write the rules. We know that the deadline is this week, so we just wanted to let the court know that we're in the process of writing out the responses that we came up with as an entity, as a drainage district, and as a county. Also in discussions with our other representatives from Cameron and Willacy County, making sure that we address it as a regional plan, hoping that we can get a nice allocation from that $793 million down to our area. So again, Senator, thank you for your support. Raul, just keep us posted on,
Yes, sir.
on how those rules are written, and I'm guessing maybe he brings that to the next meeting to get some formal approval, even though the deadline is this Friday. I think that based on the comments we made at that, we did get a resolution last board meeting to authorize us to speak on behalf of the county. And these comments that we're writing are the comments that we made on behalf of the county. So this is just memorializing what our concerns are, but we should be able to get that
That's
in
correct.
before the end of the month for their consideration as they write the rules.
Oh, yes, sir, yeah, and the board actually unanimously voted, yourself and Commissioner Torres and myself, to represent and testify on behalf of the board, so to speak, regarding these proposed rules that are being written. So that's kind of what we're working on right now, or that is what we're working on right now. So we definitely have, the interest of our area. We're very focused on what we need down here, as you mentioned, so you're very unique, so. Nothing else to report on that. We'll definitely, once we draft it, we'll definitely get a final information to the board. Or my goal is to get some information to the board probably by later today or a little later than tomorrow, to start looking at it so we can refine it and submit it Friday. The deadline is Friday via email, so we'll have that. Senator, I know we have an item, the next item, but I don't know if you would like to say anything on this item regarding this. And we have the water development board money on the $2 million on the next one as well, sir. Please.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. This last session, we try to focus on construction of flood mitigation projects and to create a statewide water plan. So we appropriated about approximately $3 billion for this purpose. You all recall 8 years ago, we appropriated $8 billion to create a statewide water plan. Now we're focusing on flooding. For us here in the Valley, obviously, we are a delta area. Flooding is a big problem, and the Raymondville drainage issue is a humongous project for us, because it's not a matter of if, but when the Valley will get hit with a hurricane of the same force, destructive power that Hurricane Harvey had up in the Houston area and the Coastal Bend area. So every session, I try to make sure we put extra money for the Raymondville project, and that's the only comment I'm going to make right now on that. But we are trying to provide the assistance that our local communities need to deal with construction and mitigation projects locally. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Okay. If I may, I'll go to item B, discussion of Texas Water Development Board $2 million grant pursuant to Rider 25 of the General Appropriation Act, approved by the Water Development Board on August 13, 2019. As you're aware, we had made that application, and it has been approved by the board. As a matter of fact, today I signed the actual agreement Legal reviewed it, so it's already been sent to the Water Development Board for execution by the end. It has to be executed by the end of the month as well. We just received it yesterday, so we forwarded it to legal. He was very quick in responding, so that has already been executed on our behalf. It's just a matter of now Water Board executing it. And again, Senator is here for that as well. He was very instrumental in getting these funds set aside. So if you want to talk about that, sir, on the Water Development Board, the $2 million grant. Yes, sir.
I guess I'll add to my comments a little bit earlier today. Every session, we have managed to add a rider to the appropriation bill that allows for the Water Development Board to take funds that are left over from the interest collected on bonds. In this last session, we were able to secure $2 million. For over the last 6 years, I think we have secured a total of about $12 million. Close to $14 million, plus another $7 million from a special fund. So we have about $20 million total in grants from the state to assist and help out our local taxpayers who ended up supporting a bond for about $140 million. This is a priority issue for us here in the Valley. So I will continue working with our local public officials and the county, since the county is taking the lead on this project, to help out and complete the project to completely get it built. And I am also on the oversight committee. They'll be making decisions on how to implement the state-wide flood control plan. I'm on the, I guess called a SWIFT committee, but we'll be having meetings on how to structure and how to provide and spread those funds around in the different states and set up priorities. But again, thank you very much for your support. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator Hinojosa. I just want to make a comment that I know the Raymondville drain has been something on the radar for a long time, the improvement of it, and these $2 million are actually construction dollars that are going to see that continue to progress, and we're excited about that, and we want to thank you for that, sincerely.
Thank you. Any questions? I'll be glad to answer any questions about the
We'll call
money.
you up on the next one, too.
I'll try to get some more. It's important.
I was going to say, we need more. We need more.
More construction dollars.
Thank you.
Who's here? Do you mind if we take a
Yeah, no,
picture with
that's what I would like if we would take a, it would be okay, Senator, if we take a photo with the board.
You don't have a big check?
No, I don't have a check. We'll get it here soon.
He said billion, not million.
He said 2 billion, he said 2 billion.
I heard $2 billion too.
Add an extra zero.
What do you understand?
They usually tell us what to do.
Thanks, Senator.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator.
Item 5C.
Yes, sir. Discussion in relation to 2019 University of Texas. There'll be no action today. We had actually, our interns had financial aid and other things, other commitments, but I would like to bring them back just to
Sure.
thank the board and for their efforts. Item 6A, requesting acceptance and approval of the earnest money contract for parcels 19 and 22 as it relates to J09 Drainage Project, and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents pending final and legal review. Everything's in order. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 7A, requisition, discussion, possible action to accept quitclaim deeds for tract of real property out of the Quail Hollow North subdivision and authorize sanitary sewer easement to Avanti at Sienna Palms Legacy LP over the tract of real property out of Quail Hollow subdivision subject to final legal review.
What is this?
This is
Quail
an
Hollow,
easement.
is it? What's it called?
Yes, sir. It's an easement that we have in place, sir, of a drain ditch, and they want to quitclaim the property in fee to us, and they're proposing a line, a sanitary sewer line. We had granted them a permit already, sir. However, for whatever reason, they need an easement dedicated, so we can't dedicate an easement. We don't own the property. So they're willing to quit claim it and then get an easement dedicated. I believe it's gone through I think the city of Wesco had worked on it.
Just because this place, it floods a lot.
No, no,
in this
but-
area, but this has nothing to do.
No,
with
no,
that.
no. It's actually, they're going north, sir. They're going north to a proposed area that they're working on northwest of the Quail Hollow subdivision. Our dish just happens to be there.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's for sanitary sewer project that they're doing there for
Move for
going north.
approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is a closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Sections 551.071 and 551.072 will be retired.
I don't have any items
you
unless
don't-
you want to discuss any.
I thought you had one item.
Oh,
No?
we do, yes, sure.
Move to go to closed session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Action items to be taken.
Open session, real estate acquisition, no action, and B, no action as well.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
We have 2 minutes of change.
May I have a roll call, please?
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that constitutes a quorum. Today, we're going to be led for a pledge of allegiance by Captain Mario Reina with the United States Air Force, retired. He will be leading us in a pledge of allegiance. Captain Reina is the Dean of the Division of Business and Public Safety and Technology at South Texas College, and he has served in the U.S. Air Force from August 3rd of 1976 to November 30, 1995. Thank you for your service, Dean.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the democracy alive in our country and for the freedom to worship you. Help the elected government and all in positions of power and authority to govern wisely and for the common good of all. Amen. And if we can remain standing for a moment of silence. Today we mourn the loss of a member of the Hidalgo County family. I'd like to read a message we received from County Court at Law No. 2 Judge Jaime Palacios. It is with great sadness to announce that County Court at Law No. 2's former bailiff, Hector Diaz, has passed away and gone to be with our Lord, August 24th, 2019. He made an impact in everyone's lives and will be dearly missed. Mr. Diaz was a Hidalgo County employee for 26 years prior to his retirement on March 31st, 2016. He began his career working in County Court at Law No. 4 on August 27, 1990, and joined Judge Palacios' staff on February 8, 2006, where he was serving until he retired. He is survived by his son, Hector Diaz, Jr. Information on the funeral services are pending. And if we can remain standing, Hidalgo County Commissioners Court also mourns the passing of DPS Trooper Moises Sanchez. Trooper Sanchez's end of watch was Saturday, August 24th, 2019, after succumbing to injuries from gunshot wounds he sustained in April. We ask for continued prayers for his loved ones, friends, and colleagues, and we ask for prayers for the safety of all our law enforcement officers who risk their lives daily to keep us safe from harm. Amen.
And Judge Commissioners, and for the audience, we do have translation services. There are headsets in the back for those requiring translation services. Carolina?
Para las personas que se encuentran presentes en la corte, estamos teniendo los aparatos para que puedan recibir toda la traducción.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is to approve the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed?
Monica, everything in order? Judge, if we can, from consent agenda, take out of order consent agenda item 3M, 3N, and 5B1G.
Move to approve without those items.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, with respect to item 3, with respect to item 3M, the auditor's office is noting that the ASU, the Arizona State University grant approval is required for the transfer between the categorical budgets. And so they're asking for the proper documentation to be attached, which we will. Item 3N, just under the Domestic Violence Unit grant for the District Attorney's Office, again, approval is required for the categorical budgets and that the appropriate paperwork be attached. We will attach as well. And item 5, consent agenda, item 5B1G, under pipeline and utility permits, the certificate of insurance for Cattle Enterprises was not attached, and therefore they're recommending, which we will attach the certificate of insurance to the agenda quick so that they can have the appropriate paperwork. With that, I'm asking the court to take action.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll go back to our regular agenda item. Item 5A would be proclamation.
Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. Item 5A is a proclamation declaring September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. If I can call you all up here. Whereas each year, more than 41,000 individuals die by suicide, leaving behind their friends and family members to navigate the tragedy of that loss. And whereas suicidal thoughts, much like other mental health conditions, can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, or background. In fact, suicide is often the result of untreated mental health conditions. Suicidal thoughts, although common, should not be considered normal and often indicate a more serious issue. And whereas, while suicide prevention is important to address year-round, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month provides a dedicated time to come together with collective passion and strength around a difficult topic. Many of the people who died of suicide never received effective behavioral health services for many reasons, including the difficulty of accessing services available. And whereas all residents of Hidalgo County are urged to recognize suicide as a significant public health problem, support the development of accessible behavioral health services, and acknowledge that no single suicide prevention effort will be sufficient for all populations and communities. And whereas the National Suicide Hotline is 1-800-273-TALK. Everyone is encouraged to save this number and use it when you, a friend, or a loved one is experiencing a crisis so that lives can be saved. That number again is 1-800-273-TALK. And whereas the third Hidalgo County Suicide Awareness and Prevention event, hosted by Say Yes to Life, the Parales family, Chris Artis, Vivian Velasquez Tamez, and the International Baccalaureate at Lamar Academy Student Council will be held at 7 p.m. on August 31st, 2019 at North San Juan Park, 509 East Erling Road in San Juan, Texas. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby designates September 2019 as Suicide Prevention Month in Hidalgo County and urges all residents to learn how they can help raise awareness, heed the warning signs, and encourage those in crisis to seek help.
Move for approval.
Congratulations.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
And representing the group who will say a few words about this proclamation is Yolanda Estrada, who works in Precinct 1 as an accounts payable supervisor. and has firsthand knowledge of this terrible issue.
Good afternoon, Judge Cortez and Commissioners. My name is Yolanda Estrada Perales. I'm the founder of Say Yes to Life. I work with Precinct 1 Commissioner David Fuentes, and I'm Andrew Perales' mother. I lost him as a result of suicide on December 15, 2013. I was in shock. I never in my life thought it would happen to us. When I lost my son, I didn't know who to talk to or where to go. I too became severely depressed. I started researching where I could go, and thankfully I found the resources I needed. Today, I can say that I am about 90% healed. Though I do miss my son dearly, I have found hope. That is why I host the Say Yes to Life events. And my purpose to this is to help others get the help they need, to also stop the stigma mental illness and suicide have. At this time, I would like to invite everyone to join us to the 3rd annual Say Yes to Life in Hidalgo County Suicide Awareness event. It will take place on Saturday, August 31st from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Hidalgo County Precinct, North San Juan Park. The address is 509 East Erling in San Juan, Texas. Thank you for the proclamation to Suicide Awareness Month. I would also like to thank Hidalgo County and everyone for helping us make this event possible. God bless you.
God bless. Thank you.
Yes. We're going to take a photo. Mr. Rodriguez, would you like to come up for the photo?
I'm good. Yeah, I'll go on my Everybody, now line up accordingly, please. Come forward.
Anybody else need to be in the photo?
Ready?
Judge, if you will, just I want to thank Yolanda for using her loss to be strength for others. So thank you to her and to her family for having the courage to pursue this Say Yes to Life event.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you to Commissioner Cantu for allowing them to host the event there in the San Juan Park.
That's a good place. Okay, the next item is we have also another presentation or a proclamation declaring September as Hunger Action Month.
Good morning again, Julia Sullivan, Public Affairs, for representing County Judge Richard Cortez for item 5B, which is a proclamation declaring September as Hunger Action Month. Whereas Hunger Action Month calls attention to the obstacles that hunger creates for people in need and recognizes the important role of the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley and other food banks in addressing hunger and raising awareness. And whereas Hunger Action Month is hosted at the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley, providing fun and educational activities for the citizens of Hidalgo County and surrounding communities. And whereas the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley, Inc. works to educate families on self-sustainability by growing their food and providing a marketplace to sell fruits and vegetables. And whereas the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley is the fourth largest food bank in the state of Texas, feeding up to 64,000 individuals per week via 275 partner agencies. The Food Bank, RGV, operates in Hidalgo, Cameron, and Willacy counties. And whereas the good health and well-being of the residents of the county of Hidalgo are enhanced as a direct result of Hunger Action Month and the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley. And whereas the annual Empty Bowls Luncheon will be held at the FAR Events Center on September 17th. And whereas the Food Bank RGV is home of the farmers market, providing healthy options for the community and educating families via its community garden. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims September as Hunger Action Month and encourages residents to raise awareness of the issues caused by hunger and to consider donating canned goods, time, and money to the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
And joining us to say a few words on behalf of the Food Bank RGV, Inc., is CEO Ron Merink, is Omar Rodriguez, who's Manager of Grants and Advocacy for the Food Bank.
Thank you very much. I wanted to introduce some of the staff, my coworkers here, that do a great job making sure that we get food into the hands of our residents here in Hidalgo County. Libby Salinas, she's our Chief Programs Officer. Olivia Limas, she's our Manager of Volunteer Services. Rosie Martinez, she does everything at the food bank. Philip Farias, he is our Corporate Engagement and what else? Events. So we all do a little bit of everything at the food bank. I wanted to thank you, Judge Cortez and the commissioners, for this proclamation and for your service to the residents of Hidalgo County. We understand that reducing poverty in Hidalgo County is one of the priorities for the judge, and the Food Bank RGV hopes to help in that endeavor. Last year, the Food Bank RGV distributed the equivalent of 21 million pounds to Hidalgo County residents. In the Valley, an average meal is $2.14 based on USDA data. So you put those two numbers together, and that means our food bank was able to save $44.5 million for low-income families, the disabled, veterans, and seniors, and food costs alone. Every one of those meals that we help provide for them, those were savings that they were going to add up as a family, that they save for medical bills, or for a car so they can get to work and school, or even save for college or home improvements. So it's a small $2.14 each meal, but it goes a long way to laying that foundation for that family. Our door is always open to anyone who would like to volunteer and work with us at the food bank. anyone who would like to help fight hunger here in Hidalgo County, we would like to partner with you. And want to thank you once again. And don't forget, our biggest fundraiser, Empty Bowls, September 17th at the FAR Event Center. Our tickets are on sale on our webpage, foodbankrgb.com, or come visit us at the Food Bank, 724 North Cage, the Old Valley Fruit Company there in FAR. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for doing everything. I thought if you said it. You okay? Thanks. Thank you all.
Thank you again. Okay, we're going to move item 10A. There's a resolution to rename a Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office substation in Wesco. Sheriff?
Julia, can you have
Good afternoon, Judge,
the family?
Commissioner. It is unfortunate that I come to stand before you today during a time where our community mourns the loss of a trooper who has died in the line of duty, and then, of course, another police officer in our community from Mission that also lost his life protecting and serving our community. Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office has also lost peace officers in the past. During our creation as a county, we have lost 6 deputy sheriffs in the line of duty and 1 deputy constable. So we wanted to pay a special tribute to our fallen heroes, and every May we get together and we remember all those officers and deputies that have died in the line of duty, and we remember them, and their family comes and join us, and it's always a somber event. I know a lot of members of the court have come and shared in the experience there at the sheriff's office. So today, in talking and in visiting with David Fuentes about this idea, and he approached me, and I jumped right on it, and I feel very honored to be able to do this for a deputy that gave his life in the line of duty protecting the citizens of our county. And I'm going to read the resolution to you. A resolution naming the substation, the Benito E. Bravo substation, and it goes, whereas Benito Eduardo Bravo of San Juan, Texas, a brave and dedicated Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office deputy who paid the ultimate price with his life when he was killed in the line of duty in a car accident ending his watch on July 21st, 1987. And whereas he is the son of Virginia Bravo and former Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Captain Erasmo Bravo, was born on May 5th, 1958, attended and graduated from FAR San Juan High School in 1977 and attended Texas Southmost College on a basketball scholarship from 1977 to 1979, and began a career at the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, where he worked for 4 years. And whereas Deputy Bravo was hired as a detention officer at the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office on July 2nd, 1984, worked his way up the ranks to patrol deputy in January 1987, and graduated from the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Academy in August 1986. And whereas Deputy Bravo was on duty near Weslaco, Texas, and was dispatched to respond to a call in his patrol area when his patrol unit was involved in a 2-vehicle broadside accident. He succumbed to the fatal injury sustained in the accident, and his end of watch was at 12:10 a.m. on July 21st, 1987. And whereas Deputy Bravo is survived by his brother, Erasmo E. and Eliberto E. Bravo, and whereas Deputy Bravo's life, legacy, bravery, and service are honored every May at the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office annual Fallen Hero Ceremony in observance of Peace Officer Memorial Day and National Police Week, along with 5 other deputy sheriffs who have died in the line of duty. Deputy Bravo will forever be remembered for sacrificing his life to protect our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that to honor Deputy Bravo's service and legacy and preserve the memory of our Hidalgo County hero, Hidalgo County Sheriff J.E. Edierra, Hidalgo County Precinct 1 Commissioner David L. Fuentes, and the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby names the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Substation in Precinct 1, Weslaco, Texas, the Benito E. Bravo Substation.
Congratulations.
Move for approval.
Second.
Move for approval, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations again to the Bravo family. Thank you very much.
We have here his brothers. The Bravo family has been involved in law enforcement, as we read. His father was a captain there at the sheriff's office, but he's also served in the capacity of constable back in 1964. And most of his brothers have also served in law enforcement or some form or other. We have here his brother Liberto and his brother Erasmo, along with some nieces and nephew, and of course one of them named after Benito, named after his uncle's namesake. And with that, I ask a member, Erasmo, to come up, and he'd like to say a few words to y'all. Thank you.
Honorable Judge Cortez, Honorable County Commissioners, Sheriff, I want to thank you all for today. It's kind of hard not to tear up after especially having lost a brother 32 years ago. But it gives me great honor to be here and to tell you all thank you. That substation is about a couple miles away from where my brother died. And it's going to be something very special for me to drive by and look at. I'll be there on the day that it gets done. My brother, all our nieces and nephews, we really appreciate your decision and the resolution today. God bless you all, and God bless law enforcement and everybody that's out there taking care of our community. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move item number 28B, also a resolution to honor Mr. Jerry Bell.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Julia Sullivan with Public Affairs on behalf of Precinct 3 Commissioner Joe M. Flores. And if the family of Mr. Bell can come join me, please. Item 28B is a resolution in honor of Mr. Jerry Bell. Whereas Mr. Bell was born on July 23, 1933, to Everett and Irene Bell in Pharr, Texas. He grew up in the Rio Grande Valley and graduated from McAllen High School, where he was a drum major in 1948 and attended Rice University and Texas A&I College, eschewing graduation to take up responsibilities at the family farm. And whereas, though he lived as a successful farmer growing grain, corn, cotton, peanuts, and watermelons, Mr. Bell's greatest accomplishment, second only to his family, was what he established in Penitas. Mr. Bell and his first wife, Barbara, were instrumental parts of the team that incorporated the city of Penitas in the 1990s. Mr. Bell and his brother, Dwayne, went on to develop parts of their farm into residential neighborhoods, growing Penitas and providing quality infrastructure around which so many families achieved the American dream. And whereas as a lifetime member and crew chief of the Commemorative Air Force, Mr. Bell helped keep aviation history alive for generations to come. In 2012, he was inducted into the Rio Grande Valley Walk of Fame and Mission Historical Museum's Wall of Fame. And whereas Mr. Bell was a fixture of his community, serving on municipal boards and generously supporting children involved in 4-H, FFA, band, athletics, and other pursuits. He donated time and resources to local churches, the Penitas Public Library, La Jolla ISD's JFK Elementary, and other worthy causes throughout his life. And whereas his commitment to the citizens and city of Penitas came from a sincere drive to see the area flourish and grow, it later opened doors for commercial developments that provided numerous jobs and services to his neighbors. His legacy lives on through his surviving children, Jeanette Womack, Bob Bell, his grandchildren Brad Womack, Laura Parker, T.J. Womack, Bonnie Kuehler, Allison Pratka, Leslie Womack, and Quentin Womack, 10 great-grandchildren, and brothers Dwayne Bell and Bill Cateman. He's also survived by his third wife, Carolyn Bell. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby honors Mr. Jerry Bell and remembers his love of family, farming, commitment to community, straight shooting approach to life, and his generous spirit. Approved this 27th day of August, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
And Mr. John Womack will be accepting for the family and saying a few words.
Commissioners, County Judge, thank you very, very much for this, and we're very honored for the outpouring for Jerry from Penitas and Western Hidalgo County in this court. I got to say that we were driving today, and Commissioner Flores knows this, and who was a dear friend of Jerry's and confidant through the drainage project there in Western Hidalgo County, and that was near and dear to his heart, and I want to thank this court for supporting that and for everybody out there. And just a special thank you to Commissioner Flores. Jerry had the utmost respect and a great friendship for him, and it's just, thank you very much. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is item 6A, District Attorney's Office.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 6A, we are requesting the approval to submit a grant adjustment number 3596401 to the Office of the Governor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
6B, DA State Supplement Fund 1281, we are asking for the approval to accept the FY 2019-2020 DA State Supplement Award in the amount of $22,500. Fiscal year runs through September 1st, 2019 through August 31st, 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2 of that same item, we are requesting approval of the certification of revenues as well as the appropriation of funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6E, Border Prosecution Unit, Fund 1281, we're asking for approval to continue the payment of salaries for the personnel listed and any and all positions that are currently being paid from that fund source.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6D, Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant, Fund 1281. We're asking the approval to continue the payment of salaries for the positions listed, as well as any and all positions currently paid from that fund source.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6E, DA's Office Domestic Violence Unit Grant. This is our JAG, Justice Assistance Grant. We are requesting approval for the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office attorney to sign the FY 2017-2018 certification of compliance as required by the U.S. Department of Justice Office for the next fiscal year application.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
HIDA Task Force.
Yes, ma'am.
7A, Fund 1291, we're asking for authorization to submit the reprogram request to move fiscal year 2017 grant funds from personnel to OT and fringes to services in order to expend remaining grant funds and approval of interdepartmental transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7B, we're asking for authorization and approval to submit the grant extension request number 3 for period January 1st, 2017 through August 30th, 2019 to January 1st, 2017 through September 30th, 2019 on award number G17SS0002A between Hidalgo County and the Executive Office of the President, Office of National Drug Control Policy.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 8A, County Clerk's Office.
Judge, Commissioners, good afternoon. Annette Muñiz, Chief Deputy for Arturo Guajardo Jr., our County Clerk. We are here because we need to select one more member to the Grievance Committee. As you may recall, we were here several weeks ago to select a Grievance Committee. It is for elected officials that wish to grieve their salaries. And the committee is made up of the Sheriff, the County Tax Assessor and Collector, County Treasurer, County Clerk, District Clerk, the County Attorney, or in our case, Criminal District Attorney, and of course the judge, who is a non-voting member. Just thought I'd mention that. And 3 people from the public. Unfortunately, one of the individuals had committed to be on this committee is now not able to attend. So we need to select, and what we're going to do is select 5 names so that we will have extra.
Pardon me, Joe. Okay, you want me to read about it? Or you'll read it? Okay. Hold on. One more. Okay. Commissioner, help me with one.
Just the name, not the address.
Commissioner, help me with the other one.
If we just have you read out the name.
Yeah, go ahead.
Filiberto T. Villanueva.
Benito Cepeda Jr.
Can't really see.
Janice McDowell.
Ileana Lugo.
Brenda Gonzalez.
Our office will be contacting them, and we'll start one at a time, the way that we're called out, and hopefully we'll get that other member. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have to vote, right?
Oh,
Motion to approve?
Well, you're going to
Yes.
select the first one, and the other four are alternates.
or alternates, yes, sir. So you need to make,
To approve the first one, the rest is alternates.
Correct. We have a motion to do that in a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
One opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
thank you.
Item 9A.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Alfredo Samarripa for the County Treasurer Lita Leo. Requesting approval for the County Treasurer to sign any and all documents of the Lone Star National Bank Treasury Management Service Agreement. This agreement is for just the accounts that are overseen by the County Treasurer. I believe they are on page 48 and 58. This does not affect any of the other accounts. It's just the ones that are signed by the treasurer. This has 5 items that it covers, which is ACH services, wire transfers, positive pay, business pay, bill pay, and office banker remote deposit. The last 2 our office does not utilize.
May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
you.
you. I abstain, Judge.
Let the record show the Commissioner Cantu abstained. Item 10A has been taken care of. Item 11A.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Martin Blanco on behalf of Constable 69. Item 11A, Constable Precinct 1, number 1, TTBH Security 1285. Discussion, consideration, and approval to enter interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 1 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health Security.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2, authorization of pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Number 3, authorization for county judges, authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement, award, and related documents.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Number 4, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $71,309 and appropriation of the same.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 11B, Constable Precinct 1, TTBH 1285. Number 1, discussion, consideration, approval to enter into an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 1 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health.
So move.
Second.
Let's just go do 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Number 2, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions. Number 3, authorization for county judge is authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement, award, and related documents. And number 4, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $233,027 and appropriation of the same.
Move to approve 1 through 4.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, discussion, consideration, approval to appoint Olga Maldonado as reserve deputies, constable by Constable Sergio Avila Jr., Constable Precinct 1, in accordance with the Texas Local Government Section 86.012.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, approval of resolution to retire K-9 Xander from his service to Hidalgo County, and upon his retirement, for the ownership transfer to K-9 Xander to Deputy Jorge A. Salazar. Number 2, approval of affidavit and receipt agreement. Number 3, approval to declare surplus and remove from county inventory list county asset number 77641, due to inability to perform duties after removal from Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 1 office service.
Move to approve, but we wish Xander a happy retirement.
Items 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yes, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 12A, Constable Precinct 2.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners, Deputy Guerrero with the Constable's Office, Precinct 2, Marty Cantu. We have 4 items to present. Number 1 is going to be 12A, Constable Precinct 2, TTBH J2. Number 1 is going to be discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable's Precinct 2 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go
Authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions. Number 3, authorization for county judge and authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement award and related documents. And number 4 is going to be approval for certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $77,676 in appropriation of the same.
So moved. Items 1 through 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is going to be Constable Precinct 2 TTBH 1285, requesting approval for interlocal agreement between Tropical Texas Behavioral Health and the County of Hidalgo by and through the Office of Constable Precinct 2. Number 2 is going to be authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions. Number 3, authorization for county judge and authorized officials to sign interlocal agreement award and related documents. And number 4, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $233,027 in appropriation of the same.
Move for approval, B1 through 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is going to be discussion, consideration, and approval appoint Dixie Ann Lopez as a deputy constable by Constable Martin N. Cantu, Constable Precinct 2, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code Section 86.011.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item D is going to be Constable Precinct 2, a discussion, consideration, and approval of appoint Jennifer Rocio as Reserve Deputy Constable by Constable Martin N. Cantu, Constable Precinct 2, in accordance with the Texas Local Government Code Section 86.012.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Judge, how are you doing today? Good afternoon, Commissioner Judge. Constable Larry Gallardo, Precinct 3. Item A, it's a new to us, so let me read it as it is here. Discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into an interlocal agreement for Hidalgo County on behalf of Constable Precinct 3 office and Texas A&M Kingsville on behalf of its police department with authority for county judge as an authorized official to sign interlocal agreement and related documents. What this is, Commissioner, how this came about is that I have a deputy that came from the Texas A&M system in Kingsville. He was a police officer there, and I hired him. Texas A&M University has a citrus center that's north of Expressway 83 on 1015, which is under Texas A&M University jurisdiction, under their PD. However, they don't have anybody assigned here. So anything that happens there, whether for a report or they need to have an officer there, they have to send somebody all the way from Kingsville all the way down to take that report or to respond. And so they've asked us, and I reached out to Precinct 1 because it is in Precinct 1's backyard, out of respect. And Constable Lavi and I agreed that we would take this on, and the reimbursable rate on that is $45 an hour, which is overtime rate. So after the deputies, they must work those 40 hours to be able to be eligible to work that overtime. And that overtime would be during the evening hours, Monday to Friday, from 5 o'clock to 10 p.m. or 6 o'clock to, it depends. And what the courses that they're offering there are those that are seeking a graduate education, through education. They offer them here, so students here don't have to drive all the way to Kingsville to get their graduate degree. And so I'm asking approval for the first item.
Did you have something?
Constable, with respect to the overtime, is it 40 or is it 80?
It's $45 an hour.
No. I'm talking
Oh,
about.
it's 80 hours.
80 hours.
80
okay.
hours, a 2 week.
2 week, okay, thank you. 80 hours.
80 hours, yes.
Move
That
approval.
is correct.
Second.
The auditors pointed out that the rate may be less than the amount of actual cost incurred by the county. Has
I've
somebody-
taken those rates, and the highest is 40, almost 47, and the lowest is 40. So there may be some at Balde, we talked about it, Balde was in that meeting.
Right, and A&M said that they would take it on a case-by-case basis with respect to the reimbursement. If at any point one exceeded by whatever.
They would
Yes.
reimburse us more. And that includes fringe benefits as well.
And that's part of the agreement.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is discussing consideration and approval to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and Texas A&M Kingsville. Terms and conditions for hours worked by deputy constables in accordance with the Hidalgo County Civil Commission rules.
Move for approval.
Second.
Same thing. The same language.
Right, same language would apply, Judge. And again, there were assurances by the A&M representative, specifically the officer in charge of that division with respect to reimbursement costs.
And do we have that in writing?
Yes.
Yes, we do. There is an interlocal agreement, yes, ma'am.
And the interlocal was reviewed and through Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, approval to certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor.
Move for approval.
So I do both of them, and approval of appropriation of funds for FY 2020.
You want to,
Yes, for both of them. Move for approval.
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. I believe precinct one's going to have to come back and get approval to, I believe, or to cover them too as well, in the local.
The interlocal should have covered both of them, but if they did not.
We did not state it on the item here.
Okay,
That's
then
why.
we will clarify.
So we need to bring it back to
Right,
precinct one to
so
do
that
their
it is
part.
understood that precinct one is also a part of that.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay. And all it is right patrol and security, because we don't want, with things going on today, we don't want something to happen there. So thank you very much.
Item 14A.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. 14A, Judge Constable Gaitan, Precinct 4, discussion, consideration, approval to enter interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health.
Can you go through 2, 3, and 4?
Okay. A2, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions. A3, authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement award-related documents. A4, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $77,676 on an appropriation of the same.
Move for approval on A 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
14B, B1, Constable Precinct 4, discussion, consideration, approval to enter into an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health. B2, authorization to pay overtime reimbursed under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions. B3, authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign interlocal agreements award and related documents. B4, approved of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $71,309 and the appropriation of the same.
Move for approval on B 1, 2, and 3, and 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Lastly, Judge, at 14C, Constable Precinct 4, discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health. C2, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement terms and conditions. C3, authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign interlocal agreement award and related documents. C4, approved of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $155,352 and the appropriation of the same.
Move for approval on C 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I've got, Judge. Commissioners, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Constable. Item 15A.
Judge,
Constable,
Commissioners, if I may, for Constable Precinct 5, it's discussion, consideration, approval, enter into interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 5 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health. The second action item, and these are all consistent with the other action items that were just undertaken. Second action item is authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the interlocal agreement's terms and conditions. Third would be the authorization for our county judge as authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement, award, and related documents. 4 would be the approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $155,352, and the appropriation is same. And 5, well, let's take those 4.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And Mr. Silguero, with respect to Constable Precinct 5, there's some personal action items. There's some regrades. I'm sure that they went through your office. So it's, he's asking approval of the following personnel actions, action items effective September 1st, 2019. And it's a change in funding source, deleting and creating. Deputy Constable, current grade and step. There is no change in salary, but it is going from program number 295-013-8 to 295-021-9. Same grade and step, 6, step 1, $45,914, as well as also another change in funding source for a deputy constable, and they're asking to delete and create item 002 and create the same 002 again, change in funding department source 295 from 295-013-8 to 295-021-9. Again, grade and step 6-1, same rate of pay, $45,914.
Move for approval.
6.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
They're going to be the same salary now.
Judge, Commissioners, Mr. Villarreal meant to be here today, but he is out of town, and he respectfully requested that take no action on this item, and when he returns, he will have his presentation. Cool. So there is no action on item 16A. And if I may, Judge, Commissioners, under Executive Office, 16A, 1 and 2, there's no action on those items today. Item 17B is going to be no action, but I'm going to, Judge, I know there were a couple of questions with respect to the wastewater service agreement. I'm going to ask Ms. Josie if she's in the audience, if she could be available. This has to do with the courthouse project with respect to the square, that it is now, as it was before, it was essentially 5 blocks or 5 individual blocks. It's all been consolidated into one block as we've closed off 281. Again, this is the document or the provision that would allow for the City of Edinburgh to provide the necessary infrastructure with respect and production of water. But there's I know that there's some tweaks that need to be made on the document themselves. So I'm going to ask for no action. Unfortunately, I believe that there was a rush to put it on because of a deadline. But again, we are not ready.
Well, but I'd like to make some comments so I can make sure that it doesn't happen again. What are we trying to accomplish by this agreement for both the water and the sewer service?
Well, good afternoon, Judge and Commissioner.
I'm sorry, for the record.
Yes, my name is Oscar Epsi. I'm with Jacobs. So the document is a document that's provided by the City of Edinburgh to, in this case, private developers. And so they were treating the county as a private developer, right? And that was one of the first wrinkles in the issue with this. But they provide it to developers, and it's essentially saying, you know, it's an assurance of the developer providing the proper wastewater and water infrastructure that then be handed over to the city to take that over as that agreement comes in. Plus, then it's the city then saying, we're going to take over M&O as we move forward for your development, right? However, this is not that type of an agreement. So there were concerns that were brought up by legal We were then in contact with the city of Edinburgh. They said, look, provide us back your markups on those issues. This is a public-to-public agreement, not a public-to-private, so we'll work up some additional language to account for that.
Okay.
So that's where we are.
Okay, well, I'll just mention just real quickly, when it says, upon completion of the water distribution system and upon its approval and acceptance by the city, will convey all rights and titles of the water distribution system. I think it would be very helpful if we would describe what constitutes a water distribution system, because I don't know what it is.
So you have, in both of those documents, you have a water service agreement, and
Yeah.
you have a wastewater service agreement. And so part of that is also then the city of Edinburgh saying, we also will provide you over the next 30 years a minimum of, I believe that the volume is 864 gallons per day, and then for water services as well as then for wastewater services. So it's an agreement between both the service provider and the user saying, look, we're putting this together. As we build this new facility, we're going to provide you at minimum this amount of service of water and wastewater services. And then it's also likewise the agreement of the consumer, in this case the county, saying, well, we are providing you the infrastructure, the infrastructure based on code that then meets your agreement for the next 30 years as well.
But why are we even talking about the number of gallons and limited to 30 years?
It's them committing to, based on the design of the building and the permitting process, of the amount of water that is expected to be used on a daily basis, or can be used on a daily basis for that facility.
Well,
and so it's them agreeing, it's them just saying, we commit to being able to provide you all of that amount of water.
Actually, we can cut this real short now that you've told me. This is the wrong agreement then, because it keeps saying the subdivider has paid the city of Edinburgh a sum of $325 for things like water meters, water rights, and stuff like that. I know what water rights cost, and that's not, $325 is not going to cover it.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay,
We're going to
so-
get with the city to
all
make
right,
sure
so
that
then
we have an
So the whole contract, just ignore it then?
Yes, until we bring it back, we'll have them.
We'll bring
all right.
an entity-to-entity agreement that reflects the proper terms and conditions.
Okay. All right, now I understand it. Okay, well, there's no action on that.
Judge, with your permission, I'm going to ask that you ask to recess Commissioners Court for about 30 seconds, open up the workshop scheduled for 3 p.m., then recess the workshop and come back to Commissioners Court, so we can keep in compliance with our posting notice.
Okay, may I have a motion to recess our meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
When opposed, motion carries. May I have a motion to reconvene the Commissioners Court meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And when opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Item 17, I guess C now?
Yes, sir. 17C is discussion, consideration, and action on Border Trade Alliance 2019 membership dues. Judge Commissioners, it's that time of year again with respect to renewal of our Border Trade Alliance dues and our participation. So I'm asking for the action to renew our membership dues.
So move. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
When opposed, motion carries.
Second action item, I'm asking for the membership dues for 2019-2020 to be approved in the amount of $10,000. This would be with the authority of the county treasurer to issue check after review and auditing procedures are completed by our county auditor.
So move. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And when opposed, motion carries.
And item C is discussion, consideration, action nominating a board member to the Border Trade Alliance Board of Directors and designating a proxy. Judge Commissioners, at this time, as a recommendation, with respect to the Border Trade Alliance, I'm asking if the judge would be named the act nominating member, and then he would then designate a proxy.
Want it, Judge?
I'll be happy to assign it to anybody else if you'd like.
But you'd like to serve?
No, but I'll take it, yeah.
You want to name a proxy now so we can approve it?
Just one of you, whoever wants to be. The Border Trade Alliance is a tri-national organization dealing with international trade. We have 5 international bridges. International trade is very important to the county. So what they do is really important.
You've been there before, no?
I was the past chair.
Want to go?
Whatever you want. Okay.
Okay. So nominate judge for the, to the board, and a proxy, David Fuentes.
Yeah. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And when opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Item D is I'm asking the court to accept the settlement check from Auto Club County Mutual Insurance Company in the amount of $1,253.83. This will settle an auto accident claim with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Silguero.
Go ahead, Raul.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners, Raul Silguero, Human Resources. Mr. Guerra, before I start on the constable, the personnel items were not personnel items, they were actually financial items. It was changing funding, that's why they were listed as
Well,
part of the grant.
And that's fine. The only thing I ask is that there be communication between the two departments because the salary schedule would change, and the salary schedule is
Yes.
something that your office.
Sure.
Okay.
Number 18A, first is we're requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments, if applicable, for personnel items that are listed below.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 18B for Precinct 2 Parks, this is approval to create a regular full-time athletic trainer position, slot number 122, when account 122-008-0059 at grade 9, effective next full pay period, and approval of the interdepartmental transfer to fund the position.
Move for approval. Second. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, for the District Attorney's Office, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. We're only asking action on the first two items to delete slot 0143 and Attorney 4, District Attorney 4, and to create slot 0169 at a lower level, Assistant District Attorney 3. One is a grade 19, the other is a 17. We're asking approval for that. On the other four, that's a funding change, and we'll be bringing it back next year. It's more of a financial item, and it'll be brought back at the next meeting.
Mr. Silguero, with that being said, can we also include and finalize, I had mentioned this in passing to you at the office, but with respect to the District Attorney's Office, the temp position to permanent full-time, I've just got to get the paperwork from the DA's office on the par.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Anyway, so on item C, we just need approval on the deletion and the creation.
So moved. Second. Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, under that same item, is approval to award discretionary step 3 to employee hired under slot number 080-002, 0101, Assistant District Attorney 2, after approval of HR criteria certification in accordance with Section 8.03 of the Classification and Compensation Plan, effective upon Commissioner's Court approval.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D is for the tax office. The tax assessor, Paul Villarreal, is asking approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. Mr. Villarreal is asking for business reasons to delete 5 positions as listed, slots 0051, 0153, 0155, 0176, and 0181. These are 5 positions that he needs deleted, and he wants to create slots 0214, 0215, 0216, and 0217 with the titles that are listed. Overall, it's a net savings of $5,000 for this year and $15,000 for next year because of the less positions.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item E for the Health Department, approval to create a temporary full-time position for 16 weeks beginning 9/16/2019 and ending 12/31. The Health Department is asking to create temporary slot 003, Clerk 1. This is to replace an employee who is on extended sick leave, and so the funding is within the department.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Before you leave, I just want to congratulate you for taking the opportunity to join our fitness class yesterday at 5 o'clock in the morning. You may have been the oldest person there, maybe.
Why do you have to bring that up?
I mean, it just shows that anybody can do it. But look how sharp you look. After working out one time, you came all dressed up.
And I'll be there tomorrow, sir. I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I have 2 other trainings on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Awesome. Way to lead by example.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I can watch it by video myself over there. I kind of maybe over a cup of coffee.
Just be squatting while you're watching it, Judge.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. P.R. Avila with the Hidalgo County Urban County Program for item 19A. It's appointment of 5 board members for the directors to the Hidalgo Housing Finance Corporation to replace 5 members. Gil Peralez, that was appointed by the county judge. Ramon Garcia. Precinct 1, Joel Quintanilla. Precinct 2, Hector Tito Palacios. Precinct 4, Joe M. Flores. And Precinct 5, Joseph Palacios.
Not precinct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What did we have last time? I mean, if everybody's fine with the people we appointed last time, so that maybe collectively the same individuals can put their heads together and try to, I wish I had the exact amount because Diana wants to fight about the exact amount, but it was like 780,000 maybe combined, these two.
Yes, sir. I think this one has almost 50,000. The other one had a little bit more.
The chunk of
A lot
change.
more, yes, sir.
Do you remember the list from last time?
The list from last time, I think
the
it was Commissioner Torres and then Mando Garza.
Right. And you were in it, no?
And then maybe Commissioner Fuentes. But that was for the Hidalgo Willacy. This is just for the Hidalgo.
I understand, but just to have the same people appointed to this.
Okay.
Yeah. Twice the meetings, twice the fun.
The pay is better.
Okay, so then we could go ahead and
Appoint the same group of people.
appoint the same group, each commissioner for their precinct, and of course, to replace Gil Peralez that was appointed by Judge Garcia, is just to go ahead and appoint Judge Cortez.
So there's 5 people on the other group. Let's appoint those same 5 people to this one. That's all I have to
Okay.
do. So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
But, wait, hold on, some of those people are from the Willacy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's why I think it was only
Yeah.
3 that we appointed that pertain to
Yeah,
Hidalgo
it's a
County.
combination,
So Commish, you were on?
yes.
Why don't you just leave the commissioners the way they are?
Well, I had thought of putting just
5
the 5 of us.
Yes.
The 5 of
Okay.
us, yeah.
Easier.
So move.
Okay.
Second.
Do we need to rescind the other?
We need to rescind the other motion.
Rescind
I
the other
rescind
one.
the first one.
I second.
Okay, we have a new motion for the county judge and the 4 commissioners to sit on, to be the board members for the Hidalgo County Finance Corporation.
Okay.
Okay?
Now,
We have
just as a comment, if y'all gather together,
There's gonna be a
you're
quorum
going to
again.
post.
Right, it would be a dual posting.
Right.
Got it.
Yes, understood.
Do 1 meeting or the most or something like that, yeah. Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, for item 19B, request an action to correct the base bid submitted by Diamond 8 Industries LLC. The total amount from $278,550 to $278,658 due to the contractor's mathematical error. Subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with Diamond 8 Industries LLC in the amount of $278,658 from the UCP fiscal year 2017 and 2018 City of San Juan street improvements.
So move.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19C, requesting approval to recertify Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc., a community housing development organization within the County of Hidalgo, and requesting approval to execute the 2019 Home Choto Agreement for Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19D, requesting approval to recertify Proyecto Azteca, Inc., a community housing development organization within the County of Hidalgo and requesting approval to execute the 2019 Home Choto Agreement for Proyecto Azteca, Inc.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19E, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting approval and best final negotiated contract and approve a work authorization number 1 for professional services. This is for construction material testing with Robert Kistner Consultants in the amount of $32,383.19, utilizing City of Wesco CDBG fiscal year 2018 water and sewer improvement fundings.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Arlen.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. Item 20A is requesting approval to accept additional funds in the amount of $12,632 to be added to the existing CPS Hazards Grant Program for fiscal year 20. The additional funds require a local match of $1,264, which has been accounted for.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is requesting approval to accept the amendment from Molina Healthcare of Texas. The purpose of the amendment is to amend certain contractual language as set forth in the provider service agreement. And 2 is requested approval of county judge to sign the amendment. We've reviewed this with county legal, and there are some recommendation changes on it have been forwarded to you, Judge.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is discussion to increase the Health and Human Service Funeral Assistance Pauper Burial Voucher for qualified applicants. This is to help deal with the actual plot itself from, that's for number 1. I'll explain number 2 and 3 in a second.
So we're moving forward with this?
Let me read all 3 of them, and then we'll go over that. It's to this discussion to increase the Health and Human Service Funeral Assistance Pauper Burial Voucher for qualified applicants. The approval would be to increase the voucher for children's and adults from $500 to $1,000, and approval for voucher for infants from $300 to $500. This is just for the actual burial site itself. It's been since 2007 since we've looked at these fees, and we reviewed this during
I thought we were going to take no action. That's why we're talking
Yeah,
about
we
it.
went ahead and after reviewed it with Mr. Sulemana, and I think they reviewed it with Judge and reviewed it with a couple of other people. We decided to bring it forward.
We're going to bring it forward?
Yeah.
Is Isaac here? Mondo?
There was a concern in regards to
The contract with the current-
yes, but we met with Mr. Ramirez from legal and Mr. Garza from legal. They reviewed it. They spoke with Mr. Sulemana, and they're seeing that everything is appropriate within means to go forward.
Well, no, not necessarily.
So, Commissioner, I think at this time, because there are still some questions, we should take no action so that we can address all the issues that we currently have, and then we could bring this back at a future date so that we're
Yeah.
clear on everything that we have. So, as the judge mentioned, I think there's still some issues that require clarification.
Okay, no action on that.
Very good. We'll do it that way, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. With your permission, move on to item D, Indigent Healthcare Program. Discussion action to approve the County Indigent Healthcare Program Level 2 program income standards at or below 100% of federal poverty level, guidelines and approval of basic and optional service for fiscal year September 1st, 2019 to August 31st, 2020.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, discussion and approval of funding source for a County Indigent Program Level 2 program.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is discussion and approval to set the County Indigent Healthcare Program basic and optional services for fiscal year September 1st, 2019 through August 31st, 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you
day.
very much, Mr. Lewis.
Good afternoon. We have one item, and it's a required item for approval, and that has to do with the distribution of children. We have 6 areas in the county, and we try to have equitable distribution. They range from 591 families to 629 in the 6 areas, and we're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission for the Adult Probation Office, it's their DWI grant or program. It's Fund 1289. This is for June 2019. They're asking approval of certification of revenues by our county auditor for the DWI grant program income in the amount of $3,182 and the appropriation of same.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
On the
Motion carries.
On the same DWI grant 1289, this is for July of 2019. And they're asking approval of certification of revenues by our county auditor for the DWI grant program income in the amount of $3,123 and appropriation of same.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Guillermo Palacio with the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. I'm presenting item 23A, requesting approval to correct required county match amounts approved by Commissioners Court on March 26, 2019, A169402 as follows. Correcting the amounts for foster grandparent program, $28,650, and senior companion program, $50,400.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, discussion, consideration, and possible action on amendment to the FY 2019 Community Service Block Grant Contract Number 6117002636 for program year 2019 with authorization for Mr. Jaime Longoria to sign any and all pertinent documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
And what are you amending? I was trying to figure it out based on the documents that
Yes,
you presented.
we had additional funds. We had allocated funds on our CSPG grant 2019. We had gotten an increase on our CAP grant, so we're allowed now to, or we're now able to allocate funds for our health insurance for all of the employees in our agency. So it freed up about a little over 100,000 in CSPG grant funds. So what we did there is we added a trailer, a response trailer. That's one on the equipment and 3 positions that could help, which is an executive assistant, a case manager, and an eligibility worker 2.
And this action is also approved by your board, or will it be just Mr. Longoria's?
No, it was presented to the board, to
Okay,
the
so
advisory board.
The board
yes, sir.
approved it
And is recommended as well, yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion to approve, I think.
Yes, sir.
Motion.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, discussion, consideration, action to recommend approval on contract amendment for a comprehensive energy assistance program, PY 2019, on contract number 5819002984, resulting in $145,239 additional funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Salinas.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Daniel Salinas, representing County IT. Item number 24A, authorization and approval to purchase new wireless devices with service, change the name and change wireless service plans through the county membership participation with contract DIR TSO 3415 with Verizon Wireless.
As listed?
Yes, as listed.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Linda Fong for the Auditor's Office. Item 25A, discussion, consideration, and approval for the County Auditor's Office to conduct an audit of the Chapter 59 Asset Forfeiture Report prepared by the Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office for the fiscal year 2019 pursuant to the Chapter 59 Asset Forfeiture Report requirements.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. First item is a request for a pipeline and utility permit. Manuel Chapa is requesting a permit to open cut 3-mile line to lay a 24-inch RCP storm sewer line and to open cut Abram Road to lay a 48-inch storm sewer line in connection with the development of Camino de Abraham subdivision Phase 2. Precinct 3 staff has reviewed the application and has no objection. Therefore, we recommend approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is preliminary approval with a variance request. Lockhart subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 2-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and surface runoff onto Martin Morales roadside ditch. It was approved by the city of Weslaco. Water is provided by North Alamo and septic tanks will be used. The variance is to reduce the lot width from 65 feet to 50 feet for Lot 2. We recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is up for preliminary approval. Via Mesa Estates subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 65-lot subdivision in a flood zone C. Drainage is a storm sewer system along with widening of the drain ditch. It was approved by the city of Donna. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and septic tanks will be used. We recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is up for final approval. Replat of La Palmilla Apartments in Precinct 4 is a 1-lot multifamily subdivision in flood zone B. Water, sewer, and drainage is in place. They just need to correct a surveying issue from the original plat. We are recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we have item 4A, appointment of member to the Subdivision Advisory Board and Board of Building Line Adjustment for Precinct 1.
Who's it now, Joe Olivares?
Yes, sir.
Reappoint.
Reappoint Mr. Joe Olivares.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is 4B, appointment of member to the Subdivision Advisory Board and Board of Building Line Adjustment for the County Judge's Office. I don't think I have any.
I don't have someone yet. May I try to get you one for next time?
Sure. We can do that.
Okay.
There's no action on that one. The last item is a request to reimburse Rogelio Cantu in the amount of $40.30 for fuel purchase due to the county fuel card not working, with authority for the county treasurer to issue check after review and auditing procedures are completed by county auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Item 27A, requesting approval to accept the counter offer to purchase a tract of land known as parcel number 74 associated with the Mile 6 West Road Improvement Project, with authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Armin Garza, Precinct 3, and we are requesting approval for Commissioner Precinct 3 to sign and submit application for the use of Mission CISD facility to host public hearings subject to legal approvals.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Valinda Reyes, Precinct 4. Requesting approval on item A171874, requesting approval for the RGV Food Bank distribution to use the San Carlos Endowment Center cultural rooms, including the parking lot area at Precinct 4 on Wednesday, September 11th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Judge, Commissioner Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 30A is approval of change in funding source. As listed on the agenda, this is for Precinct 2. Both of them going from Program 1 to Program 6.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 30B1 is approval to enter into an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the Hidalgo County Community Supervision and Corrections Department.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item 30B2 is approval of interfund and appropriation of funds in the amount of $168,776.67.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. I'm going to present the first item under purchasing, and Ms. Marty will take on the rest. Item 31A1, requesting direction action with the following options in connection with the collection of delinquent court costs, fees, and fines. Our current agreement expires October the 5th. Our first option is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirement under Texas Local Government Code 262024A4, a professional service.
So,
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna ask, is it A, B, or C? Or is it A and B are together?
A and B are together.
So to request the exemption would be just for Limebarger?
Correct. It's A and B, and if, depending on your vote, then we can either continue with C, with option 2.
What
The
is
second
option two? What is option two?
Option 2 is authority to advertise and request for a proposal with qualifications.
I know you're nervous. You're like, please don't ask any questions. There's no way today to either pick A or B.
Okay.
No, that's a question.
Oh, it's a question, okay?
Right? Like, in other words, if they're wanted, because there's really two firms that do this, right? And so, and obviously there could be more, but with respect to two firms, if the court didn't want to go with the existing firm, then we have to go through these 6 deals.
Right.
Today, there's not a possibility of choosing either one firm or the other.
Right.
Today, the only choice would be to choose the existing firm
Exactly.
or go through this process and then,
Go through the process.
I guess, score the 2 firms.
And just, we're on a
And I
timeline.
know it could be more. Huh?
We're on a timeline. Just as a reminder.
I just wanted to get that clear.
Yeah, because it looked like, well, it was confusing the way it was written. Well, I haven't been through this process here. I mean, I know that there's 2 firms. I know that there's 2 different delinquent accounts and, one for fees and fines and then one for the property taxes. So, at least from my perspective, I would be okay with the RFQ process. But I'll defer as far as.
What's the wishes of the Commissioners Court?
What do you want to do? Judge, what do you want to do?
I'm asking you all.
You have a vote too, Judge? Whatever.
Well, again, we have a choice to basically extend the agreement. Or to
Correct.
go out for proposals and consider 2 firms.
And if we go out for proposals, if that's the wishes of the court, then we got to extend the other one because of the timeline? Or we'll
No,
be able to?
we can't do that anymore.
I think we're stuck to October 5th. Like, I don't think there's an option to extend anymore.
I got you.
Mhm.
But will we be finished by October 5th?
We would advertise on August 31st. That would be the first advertisement. And then packets would be ready for distribution, and on September the 7th, it would be the second advertisement. And on the September 16th, we would have
Oh,
acceptance.
we can do it then.
There's the ability to do it.
So it would be pretty,
Man, I can't stand silence.
Well, again,
Somebody
this
make a
is
motion
coming
and
to us
see if
so
there's a
late.
second.
I'm
No,
sorry?
there
Yeah,
was
it's coming to
time.
us very late.
No, it kept getting extended. I don't.
Well, somebody make a motion and see if it'll be second.
I'll make the motion to request for proposals and qualifications.
Okay, there's a motion to,
Hold on, Valde,
Okay, then
I need you on this item.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me,
Are we taking no action on option, the first
Well, I
option?
think we're
We're not doing
taking,
anything yet.
yeah, we have a motion
Okay,
to go out for proposals. I'm waiting for a second. If there's no second, it'll die. We're elected second. Okay, motion died for elected second. Is there a second motion?
can I ask a question, Judge?
Sure.
Valde, so the existing firm, it's Linebarger on our tax collection.
Right.
And on the fees and fines. When it was Purdue before, but if I remember correctly, Purdue had the contract for 8 years or something like that. Did they have both contracts, or did they have one and did Linebarger have the other?
No, it was only one. They had the delinquent tax, if you recall, Commissioner, and for those as a background history, the fines and fees took a while to get off and running. There was, I
So
want to say.
it didn't exist back then?
No, it did. We were working through the process, but there was questions with respect to authority, with respect to the JPs for their collection, as well as after, I believe for the county clerk's office, they do the first 6 months, and then they, thereafter,
this was in 2015.
right, no, it didn't exist.
DA, Mr. Rene Guerras, did not allow us to do that, so we didn't do it. Until he left, then the new DA said, yes, we can use the firm for the finder fees, so that's when.
And this occurred in
Thank you.
2015.
And it doesn't
2015?
kick in until after, what, 6 months?
Well, on the part of the county clerk, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
On behalf of the county clerk's office, what?
It's after 6 months. You do the first, you do the current.
Correct.
Right, okay, so yes.
We only turn over what we could not, I mean, we beat it to death, and what we couldn't collect, we turn over to them.
Which is kind of what we do on
Same
property
thing with
taxes.
So what year did this start?
2015.
What year did this start?
2015.
So, and my apologies, I wasn't clear. That's what I meant by, we were working through this process, but it didn't exist because of the interpretation or the guidance back then.
One didn't allow it, no.
Do we have a second motion?
Well, if that one didn't work, then I'll try A and B. They have to go together. Make a motion to approve item A and B.
Yes.
What is that? What is item A and B?
So an exemption and then,
The first one.
oh, I'm sorry. I make a motion for A, requesting exemption for competitive bidding.
Okay, and then we go on to B, pursuant.
Let's see if there's a
Okay,
second.
is there a second to that motion?
We got to do something, guys. I mean, just
Okay.
choose
Motion
one
died for
way,
lack of second.
one or the other. That's why I asked the question at the beginning, can we just choose from the two firms and not go through this? But, I mean, we got to do something. We just non-seconded.
So if you approve A, your only option is to go with the current company? You
Yes.
cannot go with
Right,
another
correct.
company?
No, we
Correct.
were with the current company.
Well, since we
And-
can't make up our mind, I re-motion that we go with item C, that we go out and advertise and request a proposal.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go out for, based on number C, to seek a
Then-
proposal for qualifications.
Then we take no action on A and B?
Let me finish on the motion. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. So there'll be no action on item A or B. There was action on item C.
Item D, requesting to appoint an evaluation committee to score and grade the RFP responses.
I think our chiefs of staff, well, mine is Manda Garza.
Okay?
Chief, my chief.
My chief, Belinda Reyes.
Belinda.
Suarez.
Hermin Garza.
We'll let all the chiefs make the decision.
I'm gonna, I'd like to make a comment or to recommend the process that I had brought up last time. Instead of having the potential of 0 to 100, that maybe we use the scoring if we have to. Just listen, you don't have to respond because I know that you're conflicted. We score it with a 100-point system, but at the end, you choose a firm, one or two goes into the lot, and then whoever has the most ones, I mean, I'm assuming there's only going to be 2 firms, right? Whoever has the most ones wins, instead of somebody grading a 99 and a 50, and they mess up the balance of the rest of them. They should only have the power of their own vote.
I think that's what we did last time.
Did we? I hope so.
Okay.
Because we used to do it
Well,
different.
I think with the architect, one of the courthouse.
But first we did it the
Yeah,
other
the
way,
other way, the scoring.
and then we did it this way. Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Did we need to, did we take
Wait,
action on that?
Need a motion second.
Motion to accept the committee.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And if I may add, just, and also the direction is to amend the scoring sheet to just place 1 and 2 as opposed to,
What?
okay?
No.
Just the direction on the scoring
To do
as,
1 and 2.
as Commissioner
Yeah,
indicated.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think
Would
everybody
you like a
agrees with
motion
that.
for that?
Well, it's included, I think, in the selection of the, at least I understood it that
For
way.
clarity, I'll make a motion to choose, if there's 2 firms, or if there's 3 firms, that they just get a 1, a 2, and a 3, like first place, second place, third place.
There you go.
Second.
We have
Do
a
we need
motion
a-
and a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second that the process to evaluate the 2 respondents would be to weigh them either a 1 or a 2 or a 3 if there's a third one, and then total up and the lowest score gets it. Okay? We have a motion to do that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2A, action to nominate at least 3 engineering firms from the county's approved pool of engineers for the purpose of evaluating in connection with Technical Advisory Committee representation on the new RGB MPO.
I thought we did that last time.
I researched it, Judge, from our meeting yesterday. There was never an action item. It was,
No, we haven't done this, Judge.
Haven't?
No, it's,
Because I thought we put LNG for the Technical Advisory Committee.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, we
I
did.
thought
We did. I mean, it was,
We're changing, Mondo, can you come up here? He prepped me for this. And so that I don't drop the
no,
ball.
we've
you can
already
tell me.
named LNG for the Technical Advisory Committee for the new MPO.
Right. Judge, yes, we have selected them to represent us on the Technical Advisory Committee, but their contract to provide technical assistance will expire on September
20-something.
September 20-something. And
Oh,
so
this
we
is
need-
kind of like the on-call, the on-call
It's-
contract?
It's a little bit different than that because it's a specific service, and when we initially selected them, we had to go through this process. So we select 3 from our pool, and then we select 1, and then we enter into a contract. So at this point, what we need to do is we need to nominate 3 firms from the pool, select 1, and then request a contract for them, and then negotiate that contract. And we really need to have that start on the 22nd of September.
Okay.
So the firms that do 95% are LNG, B to Z, and then, I mean, I don't know who else. We could do South Texas Infrastructure Group, just to have somebody.
Tetsi does a lot of
Or let's do,
highway.
instead of South Texas, let's do TEDSI.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Do we need
Yes, they're gonna-
That's my motion.
All right.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
You want the chiefs as the evaluation committee?
That's
well?
fine.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the chiefs.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3, requesting approval of amendment. Number 4, memorandum of understanding between Dow County and Lower Grand Valley Development Council in connection with shuttle services through the, that is provided through Valley Metro pending final review and approval from legal, from the civil section.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4, presentation of the qualified vendor submitting the lowest and best bid for the purpose of award and approval of the contract to Frontera Materials Incorporated for flex-based material crushed caliche.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now, what was the auditor's note on that, that previous one that we just,
It was the funding, and
The
I
fu-
had
the
spoken
funding?
to Department of Budget, and Mr. Sergio had told me that that would be addressed.
okay.
Going on to B1, this is under the county judge's office because it is under emergency management purview. This is to accept and award finalized negotiated agreement contracts to the ranked vendors back in June for the project pre-position debris removal and disposal services to the following: the primary Series Environmental, secondary Crowder Gulf, and tertiary DRC Emergency Services, with the initial 2-year term as listed, including the sole option of the county to extend 3 additional 1-year terms.
This, Marty, who did the grading on this?
Pardon me?
Do you know who ranked them?
They were ranked by the court, but I can't remember who the graders were right offhand. I don't know if Dina.
But this was the way we ranked them?
Pardon me?
This is the way we ranked them?
Oh, yes. Yes, this is the way they came in ranked to negotiate with.
Okay, so this is, okay, all right. Move
This
for
is-
approval.
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
C1 Precinct 1, this is requesting approval to submit grant application and also the letter of intent for the development of Sunrise Park Trail Systems Amphitheater and Playground with the 3 listed foundations.
Is-
To apply for grant.
4.
4, I'm sorry.
Was the auditor okay with this after all?
We did supply the,
Yes.
upload the information,
Okay.
yes, that
All
they
right,
require.
then move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Going on to,
Did you do A and B?
You didn't do B.
Yeah.
Requesting approval for the county judge to sign all required documents.
Move for approval.
I'm
Second.
missing a page.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Going on to item,
D.
I
D1.
apologize, I've got 2 pages of the same.
It's okay, it's
Sorry.
D1.
That's why I'm confused here.
Yeah, you're in D1.
D1, this is acceptance and approval of contract number listed 206 with Meldon and Hunt for the provision of on-call professional surveying services on an as-needed basis.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, acceptance and approval of the contract number 205 with Quintanilla Headley and Associates for the provision of on-call professional surveying services.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3, acceptance and approval of the final negotiated contract with Broadus and Associates for the provision of on-call professional construction management services on an as-needed basis as well.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
E1, constables requesting authority to purchase 2 2019 Chevrolet Tahoe 4x2s for precinct 2. This is with the goodbye contract with Lake Country Chevrolet in the amount of $67,878.20.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting authority to purchase vehicles and equipment through the membership and participation for Constable Precinct 1 with buy boards through the following: Caldwell Country Chevrolet, $68,942, and that's through the buy board contract. And then buy board contract also with Dana Safety Supply, DBA Fleet Safety Equipment, $36,131.52.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Health and Human Services, Item 1, acceptance and approval of final negotiated contract, HEB R Extra Advantage Online Pharmacy Billing Services for the Hidalgo County Health and Human Services Department.
I'm going to abstain.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
G1 through
And
WIC.
for the record, Commissioner
I abstain.
Wentz.
And for the record, Commissioner Wentz abstain.
G1 WIC, requesting approval of program letter of agreement between Hidalgo County WIC program and the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley School of Medicine for the purpose of residency training at the Lactation Care Center.
Move for approval.
There was an auditor's note on that one also.
Yes, the AAMC terms and conditions are related to the residents, the residency program for the actual students, and does not have to do with, it's just mentioned reference by reference, but
Okay.
that's what it is.
All right.
I did inform Ms. Linda when she
All
was
right.
here. Item
We
2
have a
is,
motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
item 2 is presentation of the sole bid received from Califas Western Wear for the purpose of award and approval of lease agreement for the project titled Lease of Office Space for McAllen Area. This is for the WIC program.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is the tax office approval to enter into agreement with Canon Financial Services Incorporated through the cooperative contract under DIR for the copiers listed on the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Sheriff, item 1, approval of the First Amendment to contract number 148 with Dr. Justin Sorelli, Four Paws Animal Hospital, to increase the fees and replace the current Exhibit B with the revised Exhibit B. This is a contract that was entered into under an exemption for professional services with the physician and negotiated, thus the negotiation of new fees is in
Okay.
line.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second, but I've got some questions.
Yes, sir.
We have a contract with the doctor that expires on May the 15th of 2020.
Correct.
And it provides for 2 additional extensions under the same rates and conditions. So we already have a contract that specifies the fees and the price. So we're really amending the contract and the price that we've already contracted
Right.
until May, so.
Judge, the contract was entered in by negotiation, okay? So it wasn't a bid. Now, in our bids, yes, if the bidder agrees to those, it's at the same rates, terms, and conditions. The language there would be, it would be the same rates and terms and conditions at the time of expiration.
Marty, we have a contract that says these are the rates that we agreed to pay, and they
Right.
agreed to provide at those rates, and that goes till May 15 of 2020.
Correct.
That's not what the contract says, I mean, that's what.
That's what the
contract
contract
that I
says.
read, that's what it says.
Right, but
Okay.
it was
So we're wanting to change it and pay them more, is that what we want to do?
not wanting. They are telling us that the fees for the servicing of the animals as negotiated then have increased, and that's why we're negotiating the increases at this point, under the veterinary services, which were negotiated at that time.
I mean, from y'all's conversation, I agree with the judge. He's basically saying we have a contract. Why are we changing it to higher price? Unless the doctor has the authority to change the prices.
No, he doesn't have the authority to change the prices, but he did inform the county to the sheriff's department that the fees that were negotiated at that time he's requested they be increased, just like we have volatility.
Oh, he's requesting for it to be increased.
And the sheriff has agreed that they can absorb those increases,
Well,
that they're good with those increases.
okay. Well, it would be very helpful for us to know, to quantify more or less what those increases are going to be. I mean, we have the budget going on right now, and I think he would like to know, are we modifying it $5,000? Are we modifying it
There was a new
$15,000?
There is a new exhibit that is attached.
No, I have the exhibit, and it tells me the changes in prices, but it doesn't tell me the quantities that those prices will apply to. It doesn't tell me the occurrences. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying we have a contract at a certain price.
I withdraw my motion because that needs to be clarified. We can
Okay,
clarify.
we'll take no action, and I can bring you that information.
Thank you.
All right. Item 2 is requesting the purchase of a total of 17 vehicles for the Sheriff's Office through the county's membership and participation of the following purchasing cooperative. Goodbye, contract number as stated, and it's Silsby Ford, the awarded vendor, $541,458.50, and the applicable fees.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Can I ask a question real quick, or just make a comment? You know, I know that we use these cooperative programs because they've already been procured, but it seems like we're buying a lot of vehicles from out of our area, and I would just like to see more participation from our local guys. And I don't know if that means that we do a local bid, you know, to do something to help stimulate the people here, and to get, you know, sales dollars like this would be beneficial for our area, so.
Commissioner, in the past, we have attempted local bids. Several years, we've attempted, we had no participation. One year, it was Rodriguez Ford, I think, out of Cameron County, Raymondville, who did participate. Our outreach to the local dealerships is that they do not deal first in police packages, and secondly, they concentrate on either commercial vehicle fleets or.
I don't know when the last time we did that, and I don't
It
mean to
has
get off
been,
topic,
it has
Steve,
been a
but-
while, but we
But
didn't.
let's revisit that, is all I'm saying. So can
Sure.
we do something to try to encourage more participation here locally? And it was
Right.
just a comment, not.
Right.
but-
And I'll tell you, one of the draws a lot on these is that these awarded contracts, another thing, there's nothing to keep a local vendor from joining any of these co-ops, from bidding and getting awarded. One of the biggest attractions is that these vendors have them in stock.
Right.
And that's the deal.
Thank you.
In waiting for them to be purchased. It's rare when we have to wait for the next year's or orders. But certainly it can be.
Thank you.
Okay. Next one is requesting approval to purchase a total of 44 vehicles under the Educational Service Center number 2 Goodbye Award, which is $1,365,334.85, Lake Country Chevrolet. This is part of the vehicle replacement plan. I did talk to budget on it, and yes, this is part of
It's
the
a lot of
vehicle
money.
replacement, and budgeted for it.
Yes. Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
J is District Attorney requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A7, a proprietary software.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
B, requesting approval to continue online research services with LexisNexis for the Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
I have just a clarification. I wanted to just clarify, since I have two chiefs, I'll be assigning one chief to each of those committees, one for
Okay.
one and one for the other. It doesn't matter.
We'll
who,
reach
right?
out to you, just tell me
Okay.
which one it is.
Just want to clarify that.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Reyes and
Ms. Reyes
Dr.
and Dr. Covers.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, has anybody signed up for open?
Yes, sir, we do have participants for open forum. I will remind the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There is a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute. Our first presenter, our first speaker is Alejandra Alejo, Miss Alejandra Alejo.
Buenas tardes, comisionados. Mi nombre es Alejandra Alejo. Soy miembro de Lupe y vengo representando mi colonia Rincón del Valle número 3. Comisionada Eli Torres, quisiera pedirle que tome en consideración las firmas que entregamos para el alumbrado público, ya que es muy importante para nuestra comunidad y también para los residentes de toda la comunidad y para los niños que en este tiempo caminan en lo oscuro, en tiempo de escuela. Gracias.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Alejandra Alejo, and I'm a member of Lupe, representing my colonia, Rincón del Valle number 3. Commissioner Eli Torres, I would want you to take into consideration the signatures that we delivered today for the public lighting, because it is very important to us, the residents of the community, and for our kids that walk in the dark all the time and walk in the dark to go to school.
Buenas tardes, comisionados. Mi nombre es María Ordóñez. Vengo presentando a la Lupe y vivo en la colonia Rincón del Valle 3 y quisiera pedirles por favor a la comisionado Torres que por favor nos pongan unos contenedores ahí en la colonia porque hay mucha basura y llantas. Gracias por su atención.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Maria Ordóñez. I'm a member of Lupe, and I live in La Colonia Rincón del Valle number 3. And I would like to ask Commissioner Torres if she can allocate some containers for our colonias for the trash and tires that are in our colonias. Thank you for your attention.
Our next presenter is Ms. Rodriguez. And I apologize if this is incorrect, Ms. Yochil Rodriguez? So she's okay. Oh, it's an X. My apologies, that's an X. Our next presenter is Ms. Fern McClarity. That's an
X. Long day. My thing here today is to ask about the tax rate. We would like y'all to think about lowering it 1 penny. Edinburgh School District lowered ours to 10 cents. We're just asking for one little bitty penny. And I know you have the effective tax rate, which means that amount of money from last year that you received from the tax rate of 58 cents, you can get the same amount at a lower tax rate for this year. That's not even counting all the building that they built this year that will be over in the next year. So there's always that extra that's hiding, and we can't see it. And we're just asking y'all to lower it, think about it. People are always asking for things, lighting, trash, whatever. We're just asking for everybody to get a penny, and that's what we ask for. And we're asking when you're doing these workshops and things, I know you're doing the budget, not to have the wish list, but only what is needed for the county. That way you're able to help the taxpayers so that we can keep our homes. And the last thing is I am requesting a $500,000 account be set up for the elderly veterans of Hidalgo County. We have so many people that are out there that have been forgotten. They get some things, but there's a lot that get nothing. And we need, if you want to help someone, they've already served our country. They have risked their lives, their bodies, whatever they have given, and we turn our back. We let them lose their homes. We have the tax delinquent to come after them, companies, and out they go. So that's what I'm asking for y'all to do. Let's get an account, put it there, and let's see if we can help our elderly. It could be you one day. I don't know if y'all were ever in the military, but if not, you're bound to know someone that was, and we need to help them and not turn our back. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next presenter is Mr. Joe Rodriguez.
Good evening, Judge, Commissioners. I'm just here to speak on the issue of no refusal for the law enforcement and the guys upstairs in the district attorney's office. I hope all these jobs and the extent that these officers go to put themselves in harm's way actually see some fruit from their labors, because a lot of it gets slapped on the hand, and if you're a district attorney, district judge, or a municipal judge, or in some cases, I hate to say it, an officer from somewhere else, you get these professional, courteous favors, and it gets thrown away, you know. Yet, but normal citizen gets pulled over, gets arrested, goes through the system. So if it's going to be no refusal, it should be across the board to where everybody gets the same treatment. No special treatment for anyone, everybody. If you, myself, you know, anybody, you know, you shouldn't be driving. You should know better. So that's just my 2 cents on that one. It was for the DA and for their office to, hey, if you're going to do it, because these officers are putting their lives on the line. And I want to put a shout out for Constable Precinct 4 and the Texas Department of Public Safety for listening to us and actually doing something on the speeders in our neighborhoods. I know you all say no humps, no speed bumps on county roads, but there's a difference between a residential county road and a normal county road. When they're residential, they're inside subdivisions. So take that in consideration when we come before you and ask these bumps and these speed humps, because it actually affects lives. People, grandkids, children can't play because you got these speeders going through there, running stop signs. And these two departments have actually listened to the public and started doing something. And with that, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Our last presenter is Mr. Jerusalem Flores.
I think he had to finally leave.
Mr. Flores? Okay, thank you. Judge, Commissioners, we do have executive session.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.072 and 551.074, will be retimed to executive session to discuss those items. Any action items to be taken will be taken in open court. I have a motion to retire to closed session. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're back from executive session. Any action items to be taken?
Yes, sir. Judge, Commissioners, under open session, item 35. So 35A, real estate acquisition, there's no action to be taken today. B, pending under potential litigation, no action to be taken. C, no action.
Yep, this was.
D, item 30.
You're on open session?
Yes.
You're in closed session.
35. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. 35A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action. 35B, pending under potential litigation, no action. 35C, discussion and or deliberation regarding employment of veteran service officer.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Felix Rodriguez as a Veteran Services Officer.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Item 35D, civil action number 719-CV-00153, Viviana Bautista et al. Versus Hidalgo County et al. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like for the court to entertain a motion in settlement of in the amount of $1,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item 35E, cause number 718-CV-000 8-0, Ruben Hernandez versus Hidalgo County, Texas, and Eliazardo Ramos. Judge Commissioner, I'd like for the court to entertain a compromise settlement agreement to dismiss.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item 35F, Maria Isidra Perez et al. Versus Hidalgo County. Judge Commissioners, I'd like the court to entertain a motion in settlement of, for BI, bodily injury, in the amount of $15,000. Oh, that's a G. Oh, I'm sorry. Maria Isidra Perez, again, I apologize. I'd like to refer that for the county's representation to Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office at the district attorney.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
And item 35G, claim of Fernando Quiroz. I'd like settlement authority in the amount of $15,000 for BI.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And if accepted, for purposes for the auditor's office, the check would be made out to Fernando Quiroz and Farah Law Group.
Did you need a motion?
No, it's just for disclosure. And item H, claim of Delia Martinez. Judge Commissioner, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $169.65.
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, there's no action on item 36 and 37. We will have Commissioners Court next week. It'll be a small court session for next week, Tuesday.
At what time?
9:30 Drainage District, 10 a.m. Commissioners Court.
Wow. Are we almost done for the meeting?
That's it.
Okay. Well, the Commissioner Cantu's Chief of Staff told me to start saying something that makes sure that all pet owners spade and neuter all their pets.
Good job, Mom.
Meeting is adjourned. Okay.